We're back here on CTNTworld.com, where we tell you the stories of human trials and triumphs, real people just like you overcoming obstacles and all sorts of adversities. We've been joined on set now by psychologist Daryl Joseph, who's been listening very intently to the love story of Janelle and Keith. Janelle, as you know, surviving 10 years in a marriage filled with domestic violence. Keith never having encountered that before, having to learn all over again how to be with someone and basically how to treat a woman, especially one that would have been as fragile and as broken as Janelle would have been when they met, even though she was on the path to healing and wellness.
Well, first of all, good morning once again.
Yes, hi.
Good morning, Janelle. It's great to be back. Right, I'm back. All right, I would like to begin by talking about the effects of trauma, early trauma, on a person's ability to find the right mate, okay, the right husband, the right wife, and so on. Understanding, of course, that as human beings, we have a built-in need for companionship, and we all seek to find that person, and that's part of the problem too, but we all seek to find that person, okay, that can fulfill this need, this void, this emptiness that we have, all right? Now, when you have to understand something, when you have experiences, whether they be positive or negative, things happen to you, you retain some lesson from what happened, and that lesson goes into your storage, your memory, your subconscious memory, to help you assess the next similar situation that comes up, all right? So if, for example, you are betrayed by somebody very close to you, like a father, an uncle, cousins, people who should really hold a position of security and a position of safety, you learn a few things, a few very dangerous lessons. You can learn lessons like men can't be trusted. And these are not things that you would think consciously, but as I said, they go almost like programming into your subconsciousness. You can learn things like, because your self-esteem typically is eroded when you face abuse, because the only thing you abuse is something that's not worth anything. So if you are abused as a child, you haven't developed a proper sense of self, proper sense of self-esteem, you begin now to assume, oh, okay, I have been, I've been abused, so therefore I'm not really worth anything either. And if I'm not worth anything, then I don't deserve anything good. So I may inadvertently want to settle for a lot less than I should, and I don't really know why, but it has something to do with the fact that I don't feel I'm really worth much to begin with, all right? You can also learn things like relationships go bad. So that when you meet someone who seems positive and seems as though they may be the right person for you, you doubt it. You can't accept it. It doesn't make sense to you because in your programming, all relationships go bad, okay? You can also learn things like you will never find love. You may assume that you just will never find love. That's for somebody else. Love does not exist, and you can go on and on and on, but you get the picture, okay? So early traumatic experiences impair your ability to find the right person. And then a couple of things happen. I have plenty of notes today, so let me just turn over and look at some of the notes over here. Okay, so what can happen as well is that when you begin now, when you get to the age where you're looking for somebody, now obviously you may be, let's say, a little more desperate than average to find somebody because you realize there's this void in your life and you want to find somebody, you assume that somebody will be able to fill that void. And I'm thinking back to the caller a little while ago from Diego Martin, I think it was, who was talking about finding love. I was thinking in the back of my mind, why, what is it exactly that you're looking for right now? Because one of the myths that we think about love is that the one will complete me. As in, I will never be able to be happy unless I find the one. And what we don't realize is when you get into a relationship is not one way.
That's right.
I'm not going into a relationship so that I can get. That's very selfish. That's a good recipe for a bad relationship. Yes. When I go into a relationship, I have to go with something to give.
That's right.
And if I don't have anything to give because I'm just preoccupied with myself and my worries, I'm probably not going to be a good partner in a relationship. All right? Or I may set myself up to find somebody who wants to dominate and wants to control and wants to be the person who sets the pace for the entire relationship. And that kind of mindset, unfortunately, goes along with somebody who is abusive. So that's why we have a lot of, it happens to young ladies especially, we have a lot of young girls who come out of very abusive homes, very aggressive homes, very angry homes, and they get into these relationships often with men who are older, And you wonder about what's going on there. And it's because they are seeing in this older person what they did not see and what they did not get at home. And they figure that will work well. And usually in the beginning it works well because, in the beginning at early courtship, oh gosh, everything is nice, huh? Everything is stars and fireworks and whatnot. But as you get further along into it, then people's true selves come out. And usually it's a bit late by then because often people have children at that stage and financially dependence may set in. And you may wake up one day and ask, well, what am I doing here? I don't understand how this happened. Okay?
We just have a few minutes left, but what were some of the healthy things that you heard Janelle and Keith do that you can probably just break down for our listeners and viewers?
Right. From what I remember, Keith was saying, he was talking about, well, he definitely said he wasn't prepared for what happened, all right? But one of the key things I think that worked well was that Keith was patient and he didn't run at the first sign of trouble. I think far too many persons in relationships today only go in wanting to get and don't understand that you have to be prepared to go the long haul if you're going to make it. There are things that will come at you that you didn't know about, that you didn't expect. And if your mindset is at the first sign of trouble, I'm going to run, then that's exactly what will happen, okay? I also heard, that you all talked things out, that you spoke about things that
We always kept those barriers open. We always talk.
Good.
And one of the things too that also worked for us, and up to this day, is effective communication.
Effective.
Not just communication,
yes,
but also being transparent with each other.
Right.
So that was also a very important key that kept us not just in the relationship courting, but also in this marriage.
What I found from experience is that very often women are more eager to communicate, but men are less eager to communicate. So a man will, he may sit down and listen, or he may give the appearance of listening, all right, which is really bad, but it does happen.
I didn't have that, fortunately.
All right? But when it's his turn now to talk about what he feels and what he's thinking, he may be reluctant to do so. And that lack of two-way communication frequently leads to problems because now I have to make assumptions about what he might be thinking.
But then I feel very special and very honored to have a husband that I have because I didn't have that problem at all with him. We really didn't encounter that type of problem in terms of him just pretending like if he's listening or anything like that. Never did. He would listen, he would share. And like I said, communicate, but you touched on something very key there as well, patience.
Patience, yeah.
Very, very, very patient. I think that also helped us, that waiting period.
I know patience is not in high supply in 2012, huh? We don't have much.
The age of instantaneous.
We need that high intake.
I hate to do this to you guys, but we have to wrap it up for today. We've got to continue this conversation because I know that there are people out there who would have loved to join in the conversation with us. So we'll continue the discussion next Tuesday here on ctntworld.com. Thank you very much to Daryl, Janelle, and Keith, who's offset with us right now. And thank you for being a part of ctntworld.com. Have a great day.